Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian Report, and I want to start with CBA, and we'll also look at the ASX in the bigger picture as well. And I want to share with you the problem that we're facing and the solution that we need. And I think that the solution will be. I think there's a trend in here somewhere, and I think we need patience to, just sort of sit on the fence a little bit until we can see things start triggering in the right way. But I want to show you something that's really quite simple. So for CBA here and some of the other banking sector, we've got wave 3 here and wave 4 here with the GFC. And then we've got wave 1 and 2 and wave 3 here, which is all really quite clear. Wave 4 has pulled back to its 38.2% retracement level. So we'd be looking for wave 5 to go up. And we would look at that being in 5 waves moving up here. And in fact, we could look at this as wave 1 here and wave 2 to here, and then wave 3 here, and then wave 4 and wave 5 up here, because we're looking for 5 waves in here. So that was one thing that I had. But one thing that always sort of bugged me with this is that with this market and WBC and so on, this move down here, in some cases was clear, but in CBA and WBC it got a little bit messy, and it made it look like from the lows here that the move up here was a rally, like would have this down as the A wave here, the B wave here, and then down for the C wave here. And the market has started to come across the top here. But what I want to do today is explain the bullish move in all of this, and at what point we should be bullish, because I think it's okay to have 2 counts and keep working through the situation, because I don't believe in a particular having a set plan. I think it's better planning all the time. So my plan is basic, instead of plan, but planning, and working both sides, because it's a much better situation when you start looking at the what if. So what if this happens, what if that happens, and so on and so on. And the only way you can move through that is with planning, because a plan can get you locked in on the wrong side of things. So so that's sort of my thought. So the other things here too is that with this high over here, for instance, and you know this already, that the XJO, the ASX 200, hasn't taken that top out in its moves coming up through here. It's still sitting, below this top here. So if we look at that for a moment, it'll just be a weekly chart here. So that's the top that I'm talking about here. I've got it labelled as a different degree, so I better explain that too. So in this one here, I've got wave 3 here, and over here in the light blue, I've got wave 5 here. I'm not sure of which structure that's actually in, but at the same time, it doesn't matter, because the move down here will be a wave 4 as it is a wave 4 here. Okay, so don't worry about that too much for the time being. So yes, this top hasn't been taken out. So we can count this as wave 1 here and wave 2 here and wave 3 here. The problem with wave 4 here, though, is it overlaps the top of wave 1 here. So that breaks an Elliott rule. So that's a bit of a concern, because otherwise we would look at this move up here as an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here, and then down for 1 here, an A wave here, a B wave here, a C wave here for wave 2, and then we'd see the market move down from that point. There's also another count in here as well, which I need to explain. That one I just explained then is probably not the right one, but the other one is having wave 4 over here and having this as an A wave here, a B wave here, because there's only 3 waves up here, but we're going to look at that in a positive way soon. So it's possible to have this is an A wave and a B wave and a C wave, and then up for 5 here. So that's really quite highly probable as well. So we need to understand that. So what I want to do now is I want to go back to the CBA here. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a flu, so I'm struggling a little bit. With this count here, it's quite possible that that we're on this wave 4 coming down through here. But if we got to move back above the 80 here as a major trading level, got support there, then we need to be on the long side from there, because this here would be counted as 1 and back for 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So if we look at this on, let's just go to the daily chart here for a moment. So the thing here is that we've got this as wave 3 here. That's not a problem. We can have wave 4 here in this space here, or we can have wave 4 over here. So this move down here can be the B wave. We've got wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then wave 3 coming down, 4 and 5 here. So that's not such a bad thing. So on the bearish side, so I can see that in this move down through here, we have 5 waves here. So it's possible to go back up in 3 waves to the 61.8% mark, and then move down from that point. And then that would be just the 3rd wave there. So we would need to look at this as, put this wave 1 here, wave 2 here, all of this wave 3 here, then there'll be wave 4, and then there'll be wave 5 down here for C of 4. So that's how that could play out. So this would just be, wouldn't be wave C here, it'd be wave 1 here and wave 2 here. So this rally will be really important here. I think we're going to get it. And it started yesterday and should move through today and so on. So yeah, we need to be mindful of this. But at the same time too, as this is coming up here, we'll also need to look at some long trades here too, because if this is a bullish market, then we need to act in that particular way as well. So in a bullish market, this wave C up here being 5 waves from this low here, because I know that that's this here, even though that's not the low here, that's the low there, but I believe this is the low here in a case in a bullish market, and all of this here belongs to all of this side over here, because we can, from this low, we can count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, which would leave this as an A wave here, and then the B wave here, and the C wave here for wave 2. So we can have this as wave 1, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, pulling back to the 61.8% mark here, and then we can move straight up from here. So it's kind of important to get a few long positions in this little area through here, or definitely on the support here at least. Let's see if it can get back above that, and we can look at that, and we'll look at that with the other banks as well. So there is the bearish mode still lingering in with all of this, but what I'm trying to say is that from this low here, there is a probability that we could turn into a bull market here for the banking sector, because we can expect that some topping going on in the base metals like the copper and the iron ore at their current levels, and perhaps we'll have a bit of a look at that either now or in the next video. But I just wanted to point your attention to this here. So that brings us over to this market here, for instance. So with this market here, we would look at in a bullish market, and we've been looking at it in a bullish market as well. If I can remove these ABCs here and so on, we'll put wave 4 here, and then we need to put wave 1 here, wave 2 here, wave 3 here, and do we have wave 4? Yes, we do, and wave 4 in here, and then looking for, from this current lows here, looking for 5 waves up here to finish this one off here. So this on the daily chart we've been talking about. I'll just save that. Okay, so daily chart. So with the daily chart, the wave one up here hasn't been a really strong set of wave one because there's been overlapping wave structures in this, and it makes it a bit corrective. That's why I'm quite happy to call it an A wave here and a B wave here and a C wave here for a B wave up here, and the B wave here is in this, in this one here. So I'm keeping that there. So so we counted from wave 2, we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for the third wave, for the fifth of the third. And then we're looking for the fourth wave. So the fourth wave would normally come down to the fourth wave of 1 lesser degree, which is here, on this one here. So that's fine. So with this one here, this pattern here has been quite tricky, as you know. There's a few ways to look at it. The move down through here is wave A, and then a wave B over here, and then down for a wave C here. So that's okay as long as that top stays in here. But because of CBA and so on, there's a good chance that the market can push up. So this wave 4 here, this one being here, it's possible to have this tucked in here as the A wave here, the B wave here pulling back up 61.8%, and if I can just remove these for a moment here and look at the bullish count. So I'll remove that. So wave C being in here with an ending triangle into this point, and it works. It's okay. It's worked. So it's there. So then that would make a bullish move to the upside for these markets too. So this market. So if I can copy that, that would end up being wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and if I can move that there for wave 1 here and wave 2 here, remove these out of the way here, remove the bearish side. So it's possible for this to move higher here in a third wave here, and a fourth wave, and a fifth wave here, and then having wave 3 over here and wave 4 and so on, building to the upside here, and wave 5 over here, and then having this wave 5 here as a topping thing in here. So that's also possible as well in this junction here. But I'm unsure about this particular pattern in here, the way that it's structured. I can see that it's just a little bit tricky, that's all. So one of the things that we always sort of looked at here was that if the 5,800 became the support, then we would look to the upside from that point. And if the 5,700 here became the retested resistance, well then we would look to the downside at that point. But on none of these spikes here that we actually got it coming back up and retesting and failing, it spiked down and spiked back up. So it's kind of really not giving us what we wanted in here, and it's been a bit time consuming and so on. I do know that when you've got a really good consolidation here, it's basically like a spring, and a trend will come from it, and it will come quite quickly from it as well. So we just need to be prepared for that. And one of the things is that when from 800 to 700, the 750 in here, the 5,750 is the sort of halfway mark. And kind of why that's important is that if the market is above that, well, then we should be looking at the bullish side of things. And if it's below that, then we can look at the bearish side of things. The current, if I can just go into an intraday count here, I'll just save that so we know what we're talking about from before, and just go into a 2-hour chart here. So this can be a bullish pattern, but one of the things that I wanted to talk about, let's just say for a moment that this market continues to move up through here, okay, or at least it moves up here and takes out these tops here. it's not a time for loading up quite strongly, because if I can bring CBA back here again for a moment, because this will dictate what's going to happen with the XJO to a point. So it's possible, as I mentioned here, to have wave 1 up here, and then an A and a B and a C for wave 2 here, and then we can move up from there. But at the same time too, this bearish pattern here lingers, so any rally in here, if we work out that this is a corrective rally in here, then it can turn down from that point. Okay, so if it can turn down, then it's also possible that this market can move up here, break into a new high here, and then fade back down here as well, and finish that wave 4 off over here. So we do need to be careful along the way here as well, but we do need to think in bullish terms for the short term here. And as I mentioned, if this is wave 4 here, then these can be series of wave 1, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, and then up for 1 and back for 2. I kind of don't think that's the case. I think that we could be in amongst this here. One of the things that, and it's not that the S&P 500 has to govern what happens in Australia, but it certainly can have a an impact on it. So with the S&P 500 here, we've been looking at two possibilities here as well. First of all, this wave 3 here being already in place over here on this high here, and looking down for an A wave in orange, a B wave and a C wave down to wave 4 here, and that can still be on the case as well here. But we can see that some of the stock in the US needs to push up as well. So we're kind of looking at this, as you know already, as a wave 4 here, as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here. But at the same time, in the next session, it could just fail from this point and move down here, because it's currently at its 61.8% mark here. So it can be a series of 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Probably not the case, but if this can move up a little bit further here in the next session, then it's called in from that point. The other point that I want to make here is that if this is going to move up, then it's going to move up into this space here somewhere. So we could be looking at 20 days here, okay? So 20 days on the upside here for CBA would bring it into this corrective pattern here and finishing here and then moving down with the S&P 500. So this move down is really quite sort of valid at this point here. So we just need to, if we put that in here, I mean, there is a gap in CBA up here, right up here, that we need to be mindful of as well. But this is the space that we'd be looking at here, the 61.8% mark here. So let's see if that takes, 3 or 4 weeks to get to, and what it looks like at that point. So we will be we'll have a lingering bear situation on the move here once we're up in here, but we'll also be talking bullish up here as well. And the more support that we can get on the 80 here, then the better. So let's just see what occurs here and how we work out for this. But there's 5 waves down here, so we can expect this to move up now. Also 20 days too on this market here, so that could take us up to 5.9 and then fail from there as well, up to this point here. So I just think that we need to be diligent. And the other one that we need to look at as well is the whole banking sector, the XXJ, because it really, it's the strong thing. So with the XXJ, we've been looking at the same thing here as well with most banking. With this has just taken out the at the top here, so it's okay to call this up for 1, back for 2, up for 3, back for 4 here, and then moving up for wave 5 there. But we also need to get past a certain junction as well, because it's quite bearish in a sense as well, because the move down here could be counted as 5 waves. the move up here can be counted as a corrective wave. The move down here can be counted as an impulse wave. So it's quite possible to have this here as an A wave here, a B wave here, and then over the next 20 days or so, a month, 20 trading days in a month, of course, and then up to this point here and fail at this point here, and then come down from that point as an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here to the 7.5. So, yeah. That's what we're looking at. So basically from the S&P 500 in the next session, we'll know where we are. And what I mean by that is that will we be going up for the next 20 days? Okay, so if that's the case, we'll trade up for the next 20 days. Not a problem, but we'll need to be careful in this space here. With CBA, we'll need to be careful in this little space here at 82, whatever it is here. And yeah, and the same with the ASX 200 as well, coming up into this area here, up at the 5.9. So let's just have a look at this on the tick chart in here. So with the tick chart here so far, if I can just squash this in here in terms of this moving up. So we've got on the low here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. It looks like this is the 20 tick chart, so I'm happy with that. So this looks like the third wave moving up here. So the third wave, if I can just get in here a little bit, there will be wave 1 in here, there'll be a wave 2 in here, there'll be a wave 3 in here, there'll be a wave 4 in here, and a wave 5 to this. Whoops, a daisy. Just get rid of that. Wave 5. Here, and this wave 4 here will pull back 38.2%, or within group 2 here. So we've got 72 and 80 and so on in here, and then wave 5 up here. So once we've got wave 5 coming into play here, then we'll look at an A wave and a B wave and a C wave here. So just be mindful of that. I'll just be something like that. All right, so yeah, it does appear that we're getting a 5-wave structure up into this space here. So basically trade long. I think that also too, if I can just find, I'll do it now. Just want to get the metal charts as well. So this is copper here. It's at 6,500. So if you know your trading levels, then you know that 65 is a medium level, and you know that there's going to be a correction there. So I've got a count here that it could be this trend could expand much larger, but at this stage here, we've got it as an A wave here, a B wave here, then 1 and 2 here, and then 5 waves up here for the third wave, the fourth wave, and the fifth wave up here. So I think that there's still wave 4 to go here, and then wave 5 to pull up here. And it's the same thing for iron ore as well. Iron ore is at 600, and it will have its correction there as well. So we can expect some of those stocks in that space to move higher still. One of the things that I found sort of interesting was FMG really on the iron ore space. So the reason for that, if I can just quickly bring that up here, is that I could count quite easily 5 waves down here in terms of wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then wave 3 to here. And in this wave 3 here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the third, the fourth, the fifth. So as far as I was concerned, I could see 5 waves here. So I was looking at an ABC, an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for to the 61.8% mark, covering the gap and all the rest of it. And we mapped all that out when we had the low in here. But what I sort of found interesting today, though, or yesterday, is that we made a new high above this one here. So it brings in a different structure, unless I've got this wrong here as wave 1 and 2 and 3, and an A and a B and a C for wave 4, and then wave 5 up here. If this is wave 5 up here, from this one as an A and a B and a C to here, then we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So we've only got about sort of, there'll be a topping thing happening here within a week. So just be careful. I will do some work on some of the other stocks as well. So there's a possible time now that base metals can correct and banking can move higher. Okay, oil and gold look like they could be the next trends to the upside as well. So maybe take some of your thoughts off the base metals and into the precious metal and the oil market as well. Little stocks like BPT and so on. So I'll leave it at that. This video is quite long. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.